Wake Up Now family, Jason Elrod here, and welcome to this week's Inside Look. This week I had the pleasure of sitting down with Rob McFadden. Rob,
Thank you.
thanks for coming by, man.
My pleasure.
So this week is a special Inside Look. We've got Rob has got over 21 years of relationship marketing experience. I've asked him to sit down with us and share some of his insight and knowledge through the years. Rob's built two significant companies in the network marketing industry. The first company he was the president of did over $200 million in sales in the first 2 years. The next one did over $100 million in sales within the first 2 years. Rob, you guys have an awesome team name. So you guys are the NoCollar Pros, and I have the advantage of sitting down and looking at everybody, and you were telling me the story of how you came up with that. I want you to share that with everybody, and let's have a little bit of fun. Tell us why you guys do what you do and what that means.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And yes, I do love our team name. So we are Team No Collar. We are the No Collar Professionals. And the whole concept behind it was I grew up, I knew a lot of blue collar workers, great people, but rarely do blue collar workers ever have enough money to enjoy life. And I know a lot of white collar workers who had plenty of money but never had any time to enjoy life. And so I want people on our team to be no-collar professionals. It is not a dress code. It is an ideology about having time and financial freedom at the same time.
That's funny. So we're sitting here before and we're talking about it, and you told me, you go, man, I got team members calling me up saying, hey Rob, why are you wearing a collar? This is the no-collar lifestyle. We're the no-collar pros.
I know, and I've had more than once. Every time we get a new batch of people that come on the team, I seem like I have to address that same question.
Well, you look good in the collar either way.
Well,
so.
thank you.
What attracted you to Wake Up Now? You've been in the industry for so long. You're having success here with us at Wake Up Now. What brought you here?
Well, I'll tell you. There were three things that had to be in place for me to want to participate with a particular company. And so I looked long and hard. And first of all, shout out to the team, because I have such a great team. I mean, my leaders on my team are top shelf. And it's because they really do follow what we teach as a company. Wake Up Now is not about pushing things or doing things that are outside of the normal process. We're not trying to change people's behaviors. We're just trying to bless them with financially fit mindset, right? So for me, in looking at different companies, when I found Wake Up Now, there were three things that had to be in place. If number one wasn't in place, I wouldn't go to number two, wouldn't even consider it. So number one thing that I looked for, and the reason I'm here, is because of the leadership. And I'm not saying that because I'm sitting here with you, president of Wake Up Now, but literally you as a person, Kirby as a person, Phil as a person. You guys, your humility, your approach, your understanding that the field is a partnership with corporate was so critical to me. So once I felt comfortable in checking that box, I then could go to the second thing that was critical for me in terms of joining a company. And the second was the value proposition, the end value to the end consumer. I needed to be involved in a company that I knew that the end consumer was going to get value, whether or not they were building a business or not. And so the way that I've learned through this process is a lot of companies, they will have what's called passive consumption. So you'll sign up for something, you'll save $10, $20 a month, but it's out of sight, out of mind. Well, that's not what we do here at Wake Up Now. We encourage and require even our people to actively participate in their own success.
Right.
So my own personal example, I've saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars in a given month, which is way more than $10 or $20 in a passive model, but I've had to take active participation in that savings. So I love that. Any person, doesn't matter your education, doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your experience in relationship marketing, they can save. There's value for them if they just become an active participant.
So
last thing though, the third thing that was critical to me in making a decision and why I'm here is the comp plan had to reward the effort. Because I know how much effort goes into building a team. And it's got to be able to reward not just the leader, but the average guy.
Right. Well, there's a lot of effort there. We want people to build careers with Wake Up Now, not just come in and chase a dream that they never achieved. We want to give them the best possibility to hit that, and we're seeing some of your teammates do that. But again, you guys work for it, you work hard, and you train your team the right way.
Right. There's no shortcuts.
That's right.
There's not. And people get delusional that they hear these stories that so-and-so hit a rank in 90 days or so-and-so hit a rank in 6 months. So what? Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
But don't get punch drunk on immediate success. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And I keep training my people that as they come on, set your goal, a minimum goal of 1 year to be at your first real rank.
Yeah.
And by real rank, that could be an F4. And if it takes you a year to get there, great. At the end of that year, you've now got $30,000 plus or minus coming in on a regular basis. If you quit your current job now, and are they going to stop paying you? Well, of course they are.
Right.
But work with us, and we'll get you there because we do it as a team.
It's different for everybody, right? I was in Dallas, and I had a guy come up to me who's really passionate about the company. He said, I'm struggling right now. I feel like I should quit my job, but I don't really want to. I enjoy my job. And I told him, I said, don't quit your job. You know,
Yeah.
Success isn't necessarily what Rob McFadden's doing or maybe a Daryl YG or somebody like that. That's their success. Maybe your success is D3 or Founder 3, or maybe you want to be a global executive like Eric Turner. Your success is what you want it to be. So, you know, if it takes you a year to get to D3 and that's what you have and you're getting a ton of value and saving money in the products, that's great. Founder 3, that's great. And I think that's kind of what you're trying to say is let your success be what you want it to be.
Well, often a new person will, invariably, they'll ask, you know, well, what do I have to do to be successful? And really, I said, define success for me. Because I don't know what your version of success is, so you tell me, and then let's map out a plan to get you there. Let's work backwards. If your goal is F5 at $5,000 a month, if that's what success is for you, God bless America. Now let's work back. Let's get a realistic time frame, and let's work backwards to figure out how long it's going to take you or how you're going to get there in that path.
Yeah.
So
one of the common threads I see in success in our company is people that are willing to go out on the road and spend time with their team and train their team members. You spent quite a bit of time back east. You called me up one afternoon and you were like, dude, you're never going to believe what just happened to me. I just left the airport. I'm in my rental car. You're never going to believe what just happened to me. So you were at an enterprise rent-a-car counter at the airport at JFK in New York. Tell them what happened.
I literally shot a 17-second video. And all it was as I went to check in, I didn't go through the hub when I checked in because I did it late and I was just trying to do it as I was at the airport on my way to the counter. So I made a reservation. As I showed up to the counter, because I didn't have time to put it in through the hub, I didn't have my Wake Up Now discount tied to it.
Right.
So I said, hey, really quick, I can go in and I can put this in there, or you can just trust me. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, I have a discount through Wake Up Now. He goes, oh yeah, I had a guy check in earlier today, so I'm already aware of it. The discount is, and he put it on. He goes, don't worry about it, I'll just put it on. I know, I got it covered. So I'm like, dude, I gotta video this. So I stood there and did a selfie video at the counter with the enterprise guy and said, you know, hey everybody, this is Rob McFadden. I'm here at the Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and I just wanted to let you know that I just checked in and just got my Wake Up Now discount. And I showed to the guy, and I put the selfie on the video of the guy, and he's like, you know, hey, Wake Up Now, we're all good. Wake Up Now, you got your discount. Well, 10 days later, I walked back in, and as soon as I walked in, he goes, Mr. Wake Up Now. It was hilarious. And you find discounts everywhere you look.
So talk about as we shift into product, talk about your favorite products, talk about some of the things you've observed as you use the products, and what are you teaching your team about the products, and what are some of your success stories?
So, first of all, to have any kind of a testimonial of any product, you have to be a product of the product. And I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said for the last 50 years in relationship marketing. Become a product of the product. You gain a testimony of something by using it, you experience the value, and then you can share the value. So I'm a huge user of TaxBot. I know that every leader is, because I've owned a business off and on since my early 20s, and so I understand the value of being able to write stuff off. Well, I remember the days of walking into my accountant's office with a box of receipts and saying, here, please sort out my last year. And he's like, oh, okay, I will.
Right.
But one thing I've learned, the value of TaxBot, I'm averaging over $5,000 a month right now in write-offs because I'm tracking them every single step. I don't forget something. And just the sheer awareness of how much business expense, how much goes out my door that are business expenses. So TaxBot to me is worth every cent of the program in and of itself. The other one that I have gained an immense amount of value in is the personal management, software management, because one thing I realize is I'm not good with money, and I'm certainly not good with budgets. And so the fact that I went in and set up a budget and I was able to see where I tied all my accounts to it, and once I started using it, that's when I saw the value. So I now can talk about that from personal experience about tracking my expenses to my team. And there's value in that because your passion comes through. You'll learn in relationship marketing that it's not even often what you say, it's how you say it. And when you're passionate about something, it comes through. The person might not even have a clue what you're saying, but because they feel your energy, they want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And so those two things have just been awesome. And the hub, I mean, I've saved so much money. Simple example. My wife called me the other day and said, Porter, our son, he's got 6 football buddies coming over. Can you order pizza? Well, what are you going to do? Tell your wife no? So of course I'm going to order pizza. But I went to the hub first, went into the local deals, typed in restaurants, up came Domino's coupon 4 miles from my house. The Domino's had buy one, get one free pizzas for up to 3 pizzas. So I ordered my 6 pizzas, but I only paid for 3. There's $30 because I took 3 minutes to be an active consumer. So there's not a product I don't love.
Yeah. Well, we could go on. I know you had a Joseph A. Bank story. You bought what? 1 suit, got 3 for free. I mean, you've got a ton of them because you're literally inside living that product every day.
It was a simple example where my boys were outgrowing their Sunday clothes, and my wife said, we need to get the boys new suits. So I went to the hub, I typed in suits, up came Jose Bank. It was buy 1 suit, get 3 suits free. So I bought 1 suit, but I got 4 suits. Saved me $1,000.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. I was I was giddy.
Yeah, I bet. It doesn't matter. $1,000 is $1,000 any way you shape it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So as we wrap up here, I know you got a lot on your plate today. You're here in Utah with some of your team, but I want to talk about new people coming into your team. Give me a couple things that people can take away from how you teach your team, and what are the levels of success you teach them coming in order to make sure they thrive on your team and our business.
So that's a great question because every single leader has new people coming onto their team every day. So there's 2 codes we live by in Team NoCollar, right? The first one is simplify to multiply. Because if you feed somebody with a fire hose right out of the gates, they get confused and the confused mind stops. So if you just simplify the message, so we drum in to our new people B3H3G3. We just focus on that, and that was taught to me. So I just focus on that. I didn't try to change the formula. I kept the wheel the same, and I just teach that simple process. Bring your 3, help those 3 get 3. Had a leader, young burgeoning leader in my team call me, and he's like, okay, I'm a recruiting machine right now. He's like, you got to tell me what am I doing? What do I do now? How do I take it to the next level? And I said, how many people right now have you recruited that do not have their 3 personally? And he said, I've got 8 people right now that I brought in the last week, and they don't have their 3. He's like, I've got a bunch that do have their 3, but I've got 8 right now on my team that don't. I said, right now you need to shift from active recruiting to passive recruiting, which means you never want to stop recruiting. No leader ever stops recruiting. But right now your next goal is you call those 8 people and you map out a plan with them to help them get their 3. Don't do anything else. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, I saw what you were doing, I want to be a part of it, you're still going to recruit that person, but you're in passive recruit mode. Your next goal is to get those 8 people their 3, and that's where you focus. And he has now done that. He's got 4 of those 8 already to their 3. He's like, that's duplication in a nutshell. He's like, I'm so excited about that. So that simple process of simplify it to multiply is the secret formula to duplication.
Yeah.
And so what I teach, the second formula we teach is a 3-step process. Number 1, stay focused. All distractions are equal. Doesn't matter if somebody comes and offers you a new job or a new company starts up. There's always a shiny penny in the room. So stay focused on your goal. The second thing is stay consistent. Because if you do something really hard for 2 weeks and you experience success and then you fade out, guess what? Your team kind of follows you, right? You're the leader of your team. You lead by example. So stay consistent every day. Your team sees you making 10 calls a day or 10 contacts a day, they'll make 10 contacts a day. And the third is be authentic. Stop trying to be somebody else. You're not Eric Turner. You're not Daryl YG. You're not those guys. You're you. Be you. People respond to authenticity. So keep it simple, and those 3 pillars are really what we teach our people.
Well, good, man. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Pleasure sitting down with you. Look forward to seeing you. You'll be seeing a lot more of Rob. Rob's going to be helping us do some training as we move forward. A few things we can take away from today, guys, is keep it simple. B3H3G3. The system works. Follow the system. And be authentic. Don't go out and try to be somebody you're not. Take the building principles that all of our leaders take and put your flair on it. Be you. Until next week, we'll see you again.